Hey, Boppers. Hey, Boppers. It is with great pleasure we welcome you back to Groovin Towers for another episode of Groovin Movies. I'm Eddie French, and very soon I'm going to be joined by Emma Tidswell and Tom King, and we're going to discuss the 1931 classic film Frankenstein. Very exciting indeed. We have a couple of little announcements to make. We now actually have a website, which is exciting. That's groovinmovies.com. Not a great deal on it. There's just a little bit about us. There is a place you can listen to our episodes, which is nice if you want to go and visit that. There's also a button where you can support us on Ko-fi, ko-fi.com, where you can send us £3 or multiples of £3 to buy us a coffee if you enjoy what we do. It would be great if you did do that. Please don't feel you have to. Spreading the word, leaving us a like or a comment or sharing us around is another excellent way to help us, and we'd really, really appreciate that. We've got a word coming up from one of our cross-promo podcasts, so listen out for that and check them out, because we only work with people that we like. And most importantly, make sure you're up to date on all of your Frankenstein knowledge, because you'll see that we sure as hell aren't. But enjoy this episode. Thanks a lot.
Hey Ellie!
Hey Carly, what's up?
I was just thinking about making people disappear.
As one does. What about making people disappear?
How there's so many mysteries and crimes we'll never solve, but feel compelled to try and solve.
Oh, like Roanoke?
Exactly! It's crazy how so many people could disappear without a trace and never be seen again.
I know, and how they left clues but were never cracked. We talk about the 100 people of Roanoke that disappeared and so much more in our podcast, Murders, Mysteries, and Mimosas.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Join us as we delve through the mysteries of this world. We cover everything from unsolved murders, disappearances, secret societies, and conspiracy theories. And of course, grab your mimosa, because this is about to get wild.
Now back to our friends.
Hey, Boppers. It's us again. We're back. Say hello, Tom and Emma.
Hello, Tom and Emma.
Hello!
Well, it's a bit of a classic today. This is 1931's Universal Frankenstein. Not the first monster movie, but you can see where it is the sort of standard for that structure. You know, lots of other monster films hang around a bit to sort of lay the scene, make it. Oh, monster's broken. Monster's gone bad. Oh no, monster's broken. Oh, end now. Because it ends amazingly. I love it. To spoil it, where it's just ends on a sort of weirdly high note, where
Very chipper.
Henry Frankenstein is in his bed, and the old bloke has stolen the wine that the maids were going to give him.
Oh yeah.
And then there's credits. Amazing.
Son of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I love our Baron. He is.
Yes.
Fun
No, the Baron's
character.
great. But yes, so Frankenstein, you like?
Is this an open? Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah,
open.
very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Absolutely.
It's good.
You are wearing a jumper that
Frankenstein
makes
t-shirt,
your
yeah.
abdomen
Frankenstein monster.
look like the monster, which is very, very cool.
It's very cool.
We
He's
should
a
put a
grumpy
picture of
bugger.
it up on the Twitter feed.
We shall do.
Wait, short, good.
If we don't, I'll just cut this bit out.
Hey, cool. Yeah, it's a very comfy jumper, and yeah, it's very good.
I enjoyed it. It is a clunky film, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it's clunky like the monster,
Oh yeah.
but I enjoyed it. It was weird. I felt like I wasn't expecting it to detract so far from the book. Because it quite clearly says that it's based on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Obviously, it is.
It actually says based on Mrs. Percy Shelley's book.
Oh, so
It doesn't even say Mary.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was something I noted. Mrs. Percy
bad,
B.
isn't it?
Shelley's book.
Oh, I don't like it
Oh, the
anymore.
modern.
I know.
Yes.
It's not. It's not great, is it?
No.
No.
It's pretty bad.
Which is
in
like
that respect.
because their dad was a scientist, wasn't he? Or he was like looking at galvanism or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
and her mother, Mary Moulton Marston or something like that. I might be confusing her with
Maybe
the
like-
creator of Wonder Woman, but
I was thinking of pot pies.
her that's Melton Mowbray.
Yeah, also.
But her mum wrote a book called The Rights of Woman after Thomas Paine wrote Rights of Man, calling him out for being a sexist. So she came from a fairly radical couple, and she was married to Shelley, the poet. So she came from interesting stock.
Yes. Had a good amount of knowledge on that one.
Yes, sorry, there's a great series called the Mark Steele Lectures, and he did one on Mary Shelley. And so any proper impressive information that I pull out regarding Mary Shelley will, one, be probably poorly misremembered, and two, will only be from that one source. So don't go applauding. It will be lazily half remembered by me. So it's ours.
None of us claim to know anything about anything.
Oh yeah, no idea. No
We should
idea.
make that clear now. And
Yeah.
If you were expecting anything otherwise, then there are other podcasts out there for people that want cold hard facts about
Yes.
things.
Whereas ours are lukewarm to non-existent.
Yeah,
ones.
but lukewarm opinions at best.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was good.
It was
Watched
good.
it. Here's a list of things that I enjoyed. Here's a list of things I didn't enjoy. Maybe you'd like to watch it.
That's it.
Ultimately, what we do, and I think that's
okay.
No, that's playing to our strengths.
Yes.
Although-
That's really playing to
Really.
our strengths.
Even though we've just spoiled the last scene, I would suggest that if you don't want any more spoilers, go and watch the film and then
Yeah.
come in and join the conversation.
As
it were.
always,
Or you
a
can
spoiler.
shout at the podcast and say, "Oh, I don't agree with what you just said about his shoes,
No, that's
Tom."
ridiculous.
So what we did there was spoil the very last scene,
Yeah.
Which doesn't
which
spoil the
isn't
movie.
really the
No,
climax.
like-
No,
It's just a weird sort of juxtaposition to
yeah.
what's
Yeah.
just happened.
it was just a weird, when you said it was a clunky film, there are.
Also, his
moments-
dad's a knobhead.
Yeah,
I
that's
quite liked it, but then I thought he was so ridiculous that I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
He was ridiculous, but yeah. He was a
was.
baron, wasn't he? He was
Yeah.
supposed to be a
Yes.
dick.
Yes, well, that's the wonderful thing is that all of the, because it's set in Austria or somewhere, it's set somewhere Germanic.
Obviously in the 20s, based on how they dress it.
Well,
Yeah.
could be set in 1750 based on how the peasants are dressing.
Yeah,
But
well,
no,
the peasants are still dressed like peasants, but everyone else is wearing suit and tie and,
Yeah, yeah,
and
the
flapper dresses.
dapper-
yeah, and that's great.
Yeah.
But I think, but also everyone either has an English or an American accent if you are wealthy, whereas the peasants are still going, I am just a going over here. They've got this sort of weird thing.
Yeah.
Oh, except for Marie's dad.
Yeah.
We'll get to her and her dad later. But again, it features a brilliant cat. This film, which I'd forgotten about. Very briefly.
I can't remember this cat.
The cat Marie's got holding a cat. She's got a.
I can't remember that!
She's
Sorry, I
got,
don't know, I'm getting annoyed at you.
she's got. Because he says, now you stay here and play with Kitty, and she goes, okay, come on, Kitty.
Girl has got the cat.
Little
Yeah,
girl's
that's
got
right.
the cat. Right?
Oh, I thought. Sorry, when you said for some reason I was thinking
You
of
were thinking of
Elizabeth.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
Marie's holding a cat.
Classy cat,
And then
yeah.
she goes and sits down by the lake. A very famous scene in this film.
yeah.
One of the sort of turning points.
Honestly, I was shocked. I was actually quite shocked by it, and
Yeah,
also I fucking laughed my
Oh,
head off.
no. Well, this
really
is the
bad.
thing, right? So
I
anyway,
think it was like, this is
to clear up the cat thing,
Yeah.
she sits down and starts picking flowers. And as soon as the monster appears, the cat goes, "Yeah, bye," and just fucks straight off, which is brilliant. Yeah. So this is the first person who treats the monster with any kind of compassion or humanity. Is this little girl who is so desperate to play with anyone that a 6'9" man with bolts in his neck,
Yeah.
wandering aimlessly out of some bushes, she goes, "Hi, my name's Marie. Come and play with me."
Yeah.
And then they pick flowers. And
he loves it. He's off his tits.
his performance, Boris Karloff's performance is fucking incredible in that scene. Any scene where he's sort of genuinely experiencing human emotion, he is just
Really
stunning.
good, yeah.
Really, really stunning.
It's weird, isn't it? Because Bela Lugosi were going to do it, and then he didn't because Vampire Life called him, and I just wonder how he would have played it.
I know, it's one of those alternate histories. Be interesting to see. They might do it on an episode of Legends of Tomorrow, but which would be fun. But yeah, it's this beautiful scene, and she's taking the heads off the flowers and flinging them into the little lake next to them.
And then the monster reciprocates.
And the monster does it, and he's delighted because she's happy and he's happy.
Yeah.
And then
What could go wrong?
And then that's the wonderful thing about this film, what you mean by it being clunky, is that they set up this beautiful scene that really should be about maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes longer, because then it just goes from him doing that to him thinking, well, if she likes the flowers being thrown in the lake, she would definitely love being thrown in the lake.
Yeah, and then he just fucks her in the lake.
Picks her up and just wangs her straight into the lake.
Proper lobs her in.
Yeah. Proper, yeah. But,
Dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dead before she hits the water. Just dead out of sheer shock.
Yeah.
At the lurch that this film makes.
I mean, like you know how like you go to the lake and you find a stone that you can skim.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you gently skim it,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
And then you just go, fucking brick! And then you whack it in the lake, and you just shit it in the lake.
I will often just find the nearest sort of outcrop and just run into it full shoulder.
Yeah.
Just in the hope of
Dislodging a large chunk of lake rock.
Yeah. There are scenes where you're going, wow, this is incredible, this is so humanising. And then half a second later, he'll be sort of quite clumsily one take throwing a little girl into a lake, which is really funny.
And then his reaction's really weird as well,
Yeah.
because he kind of just looks and then he goes, oh, I don't know what I did.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, okay.
Now what?
Chalk this one up to a failed experiment, like Papa.
Yeah. I'm just doing science like the old man. I'm following the family business.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
My other favourite bit that's like that is, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Very, very possibly, but go on.
Is when he also just fucking canes Henry off the top of the windmill into the wing of the windmill. One of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is
just,
amazing.
like, flops.
And because it looks so horrible, and it's also the windmill's going, the sails are going clockwise, and Henry lands on it and sends it anti-clockwise until it hits the bottom. And he just slides off.
Yeah, and it's the crappiest fake corpse I've ever seen. It's too thin and long.
It kind of looks great though. And then. But there's that bit, and then that's hilarious, and then it's coupled with this genuine moment of sincere fear and confusion when they set the fucking thing on fire, and so it's sort of half of it's this sort of really heart-wrenching, like, I'm trying to understand this world and everything in it. I just want everything to be all right, and just throwing people as a way of solving every problem there is.
See,
so it's hard, yeah.
You didn't see lad in the Wicker Man throwing chickens out, did you?
No, that's true, yeah.
I know.
That might be more fun if there were more chickens being bunged about in the
just
Wicker Man.
like screaming horrendously.
It would be more like a Zelda game if chickens were being thrown around. That would be more fun. But yeah, it's what I like as well is it Fitz or Fritz? Fritz.
Yeah.
Who's the sort of Igor kind of character.
I think I know what you're going to say here. Go on.
He's amazing, and I like that.
Very cruel.
Very cruel, but I do like the fact that when he goes to steal the brain,
This is it. I knew you
Yeah.
were
he
going
goes to steal the he steals the brain, and there are two. This has been set up earlier, so it's not.
Fritz with two brains.
Yeah, the Fritz with two brains. What he does is he walks in and he goes, aha, human brain or normal brain. It says on the jar, perfect. He turns around and just plants it straight on the floor, just completely.
Why does he plant it though? He plants it because he goes in.
He trips or something.
No, he doesn't. What he does is he goes in, and there's a human skeleton hanging from the ceiling, and he walks past it, so he's seen the skeleton. But then he backs into the skeleton, turns round, and does the fakest surprise thing, throws the brain in the air, and it smashes on the floor.
Which means, well, this is the important plot point. That has to happen because otherwise he won't pick up abnormal brain.
No, he's got to take some goods back.
And then, I think he might just take the label, or not even bother.
Well, yeah, he could have whacked out the abnormal brain, whacked the new one in the fluid.
And surely,
he might have only had a few cells.
Henry, having been taught by the very professor that's doing a lecture about brains that no doubt Henry has been through before.
Yes.
Would be able to tell the difference between a normal and an abnormal brain. But Henry...
Because they're quite notable on the two model brains they've got. There's really clear... like
deterioration.
It's like the suggestion that the brain of a killer, a mad, remorseless killer, has got like visible differences between that of someone who doesn't consider killing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he does seem more interested in making flower boats than he does in actually killing.
He's drunk.
It's curious more than anything. It's this sort of mice and men sort of Lenny thing, isn't it? Again, it's this very easy to damage things because he's so powerful.
Oh, look, flowers. No flowers. Get in the fucking lake.
yeah. Because she smells the flower and then he smells the flower and he sort of like smiles because he recognises the nice thing. Yeah, and he's got this sort of half a thing, and it's sincerely beautiful, and you can see, I mean, as I was watching it, I faintly heard on the breeze Guillermo del Toro softly weeping. The beautiful monsters.
Followed by Eli Roth viciously wanking. Giant is thrown into a lake.
It was poor Guillermo was drowned out quite quickly by infanticide.
Eli squeals of pleasure as he viciously writes the script for Hostel 5 that will never be made.
He's a bit like a horrible Stan Laurel. He just keeps writing even though they're never going to be made.
Yeah.
He knows those days are long gone, but he keeps writing the scripts for him. It's a horrible idea, isn't it? Oh, dear.
Before anyone points this out, I couldn't write a script, not even Hostel 5.
No.
So, I know.
We can wax lyrical about this remarkable portrayal, etc., etc.
Yeah.
They were just trying to make a film about a big monster that goes around causing bother. So you can over-intellectualise these things, I suppose. But
stuck though, wasn't it? Stuck because they tried to do the Universal Monsters universe, which failed at the first hurdle because they just didn't put any fucking effort into making it any good.
Well, I read an article. Sorry, I read a headline of an article. I didn't bother reading the article because I didn't care. But it's broken now. It's ruined. It's no good to me. But it said that apparently someone claimed that Tom Cruise had far too much creative control over it, and that's what spoiled it.
But the thing is that Tom Cruise has far too much creative control over the Mission Impossible films, and they are fucking amazing. They are genuinely solid, brilliant pieces of entertainment. So I don't know whether
Well, I just thought there's not one person can break a film.
No.
Because other people have to let that person break the film, and so the amount of people who work on a film, especially a big Hollywood one, like a big the Universal Dark Universe monster movie thing, that's got so many people working on it. Even someone as sort of powerful, as famous or whatever, influential as Tom Cruise, isn't going to be able to completely break it. Also, what I like about Frankenstein.
Not talking much about Frankenstein.
We've not yet, no. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that it's about an hour and 10 minutes long. Less than an hour and 10 minutes long. And when you watch those scenes where you think another 90 seconds of transition between sort of, smiling at the floating flower and throwing a girl in a pond. You think, that could have made it a bit more of a build-up and stuff, but, an hour and 10 minutes, I mean, there should be more films that are just over an hour long, because,
that would be awesome.
because some of them don't really warrant. Again, it comes back to that curving and dry. I'm going to make this a 3-hour epic. Oh, really? What is it? It's The Hangover Part 6. But that doesn't need to be more than about an hour and 15, including credits, mate. Yeah. What do you want to do? I want to get another sporting legend / rapist to appear in the film and have them do a silly song together. Yeah, all right then. But yeah, any further thoughts on...
Got no further thoughts on Mike Tyson.
No, on Frankenstein.
Oh, Frankenstein.
So you know when Fritz gets beaten by our monster, and having said that, Fritz kind of is a bit of a monster as well.
Fritz is a really unpleasant guy.
Really not cool. Like, I thought, you know what, you're alright, you're helping out Henry, that's cool. And then he gets the torch, and then he's just a total...
He's... He basically is like the equivalent of quite a lot of the staff that work in old people's homes.
Yeah.
These days, they're perfectly nice.
There's some really cool, awesome, lovely ones.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
They're perfectly nice when other people are looking.
Emma's hand gesture then was just trying to placate the recorder because she doesn't want Tom's generalising, which is how he tends to speak, to upset anyone who genuinely does work in a care home and is not.
Look, there's documentaries out there.
There are,
Ricky Gervais has probably misrepresented you too. Or whatever.
A lot of care workers are absolutely fine, but I've seen the videos of the ones that are shit.
That's true. Yeah, no, there are some that are shit. As in all walks of life.
Yes,
There have been several documentaries on it on the BBC of all places, so I am fine to say that there are some shits out there.
There are some shits.
Yeah, everyone's a bit.
And do you know what? If you are a shit, we'd rather you didn't listen.
Yeah.
Or rather
Stop being a shit.
We'd rather you carried on, do subscribe, and go to www.groovinmovies.com. You can find our Ko-fi link and buy us a coffee if you like. Yeah. But only if you stop being a shit.
Yeah.
Think about your actions.
Evolve.
Yes. Yeah.
We all,
I mean, if you are a shit and you do donate, we can't stop you.
And
nor will we know. But if you are a shit, then donate twice to make up for it.
And Frankenstein, perfect tale for you to consider your actions.
Yes, absolutely, because all that monster wanted to do was understand.
And be loved and be accepted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was torched relentlessly.
And I think that Fritz obviously being... I don't know if he was deformed or he just slouched, because that seemed to be the acting approach.
He definitely had some humpage going on.
There was a bit of pre-Igor, I'm going to call him from now on, because he's pre-Igor. But I think that obviously with the monster being so massive, that maybe him being a little bloke and a little bloke with a deformity, you might have just gone, there's my chance to stick it to one of the big blokes that I couldn't do in the tavern down in the town, because they just kicked my head in. Yeah. So he might have been getting his what he considered to be his own back.
Yeah. He's just a massive bully.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because even like, because Henry and Dr. whoever were the pro man or whatever, were like, don't do it, leave him alone. He's just, let him get on. But and then he just goes back, and you're just like, no.
Yeah. He's like, I'm having another go. Fuck it.
Yeah. And he had his band, and they run down, and they find him, and he's like hung, isn't he, or something?
He's hung,
Which is like, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, considering that the monster doesn't know. What to do with a flower. He's very tactile
holding his arms up to light.
Yeah, he's also very tactile with
with the noose.
Ropes, apparently with
noose. With
he's got to not school, hasn't he?
He had enough time to be in like the Sea Cadets.
Yeah.
Just off screen, and he learned some knots. And but he does hang him, and that's actually a really effective scene when they open up and he's just there, and the monster just stood there stock still, not even looking at the hanging man slowly swaying next to him. It's like I don't want to sound like a cunt, but the composition of that scene is just perfect. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
the sets were amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
Say
yeah,
that.
they were great.
The inside of the laboratory,
Oh.
and like how big it was and how high they take the rig with Boris Karloff on it into the ceiling. It's stunning bit of
And
scenery.
then of course it's alive, it's alive, it's alive. I mean, they had to make the set look that good because Henry was chewing that motherfucker all over the place. But I mean, his swivel-eyed intensity in that scene is just incredible. So good.
But it's weird because they put him on this like table platform and they kind of like push him up to obviously the surface, and then you don't really see a lot of like what's going on up there. It's just the anticipation amongst everyone else and like ooh, and then he just pops down and does a little twitch.
Yeah, and I suppose that's to do with all the limitations of making films at the time.
That is true.
And that's that great thing of like if they'd been allowed a bumload of money. Just to go, all right, we're going to make this. It might have looked rubbish, it might have been really bad, and it's that thing. Obviously, in later, like, I mean, if you want to see Young Frankenstein is a straight parody of this, with a few other bits added in to make it a longer running time.
Because they even call him Young Frankenstein in Frankenstein.
In Frankenstein, but it's. Frau Brucker. And all that stuff. So there's no actual lightning scene in it because you sort of go, Igor! And you've got Igor up in the lashing rain, pulling levers and stuff and all that. Yeah. And that's all at it, but it is basically all being built off. Everything we think about televised or filmed Frankenstein stories, it still all nods back to this. No one's really come up with a newer... A new variant on it, really.
I really like Frankenstein Creative Woman though, like because that was Peter Cushing had my horror one.
Oh right, yes.
And that's like there's this lass and there's this couple and she like works in this tavern. He goes to visit her and these three guys come in and I think they end up killing like her fella, and she ends up dying herself. I think presumably because she's heartbroken. Or what have you?
Women can die of that.
They can die of that. That is a condition. We are capable of dying in films. And then Peter Cushing brings back this lass, but he puts the brain in of the chap, and he goes on a hellbent revenge quest to kill everyone, and it's really cool because she seduces everyone and then just murders them and like just flips.
Nice.
And I really like it.
Is that one of the first? Sort of semi-erotic revenge thing. Well, because there's the idea of the erotic revenge film. Like, there's that French one, Baisse Moi, which it's rather unpleasant, and it is also virtually hardcore porn. But the French have a different attitude to real sex in films, apparently. But that's that sort of thing. Yeah, with all their le petit nom. But also, the film that we will not be talking about.
Deadly Weapons.
Deadly Weapons, yes.
Tom, you missed it. You were lucky, so.
Yeah, that was an erotic revenge thriller / exploitation
for the eyes.
film. It was it was just not very entertaining, really. It promised a lot more on Wikipedia than it actually presented.
I mean, it gave a lot, to be fair.
Well, 73-inch bust to begin with. Watch that on your own time. That's not recommended by us, but
although the monologues are cool, so that bit is good.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's like 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah, it's not brilliant, but. Yes, how did we get on to that? Oh no, so the Frankenstein. So this is sort of the start of the Frankenstein idea in popular culture. More so, I reckon, than the novel.
Yeah. Because
more people have seen a filmed adaptation of it than have read it. I'm going to say. because I've not read it. You know what I mean? I'm not.
I've read it, or at least listened to it.
I've read Frankenstein.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool.
No, I'm sure it is. It's good. And I probably would get the audiobook of it at some point. But
I was just thinking about the Bride of Frankenstein.
well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of the subsequent films with the word Frankenstein in the title, probably a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
A lot campier. A lot more stuff going on in it, you know, and that kind of thing. But this one is particularly sort of.
They also keep making them though. I mean, there was one with James McAvoy that came out last year.
Yeah, and Daniel Radcliffe. I watched that.
Yeah,
it was.
I enjoyed it. It was daft.
It was cool.
And they both put in stellar performances.
I love Rodders.
Yeah, and McAvoy's always great. And then obviously there's the Kenneth Branagh one with De Niro, which I absolutely love. I think it's a great film.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah, because it's
sorry. I mean Mrs. Percy B. Shelley. As Frankenstein.
Yeah, De Niro does a solid job as the monster in that.
I'll check that out actually, because I keep skipping over it and going, and then not getting quite pulled in.
You throw flowers in the lake?
I'll throw bullets.
I believe the subtitle of the actual book, the story, was the modern day Prometheus.
That's correct. Yes.
There's an X-Files episode which is awesome, and it's like the modern day Prometheus or something like that. And it's got a bit of sharing and stuff, and it's really daft. But I think it's based on the Elephant Man, and they're at a trailer park or something. And he kind of ends up so it's a really fun episode.
That sounds like a great combination. What do you think Frankenstein would sell on eBay, Tom?
Nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts. I think he'd like upgrade his throat
I
bolts.
think he'd sell beer steins.
Oh yeah, he would. Yeah, once he's killed everyone in the tavern, collects all the porcelain lidded beer steins, and and then when he gets the money, he just goes and just fucks it off into the lake.
Yeah.
Just has the best time.
And he put some flowers in them as well as a little secret.
He's got a lovely little windmill on Airbnb as well.
Yeah. He lent it to Jonathan Creek.
Open fire. Yes, nice. Very neighbours really keep themselves to themselves. They rarely come around. It's good.
So yeah,
it's also part of his Tinder profile, but Tinder was literally just a fire starting program in those days. There was no.
They torched him with that Tinder.
So what was your best bit, Emma?
Oh god, best bit. Oof. Sorry, I can't even remember right now.
What was your best bit, Tom?
Frankenstein lobbing people.
Just any time he wangs anyone. Yeah, that is pretty good.
For me, there could have been more scenes of him. I would like to have seen lots of scenes of him lobbing people, like lobbing someone off a cliff, off the tall building which we got.
You think?
In front of a court.
Do you
think it would always precede a moment of sort of connection or growth, so that it'd be someone would. See him and go, "Oh, good sir, you look troubled. Come, sit, take a cup of tea with me, and here is some sort of Bavarian bun."
Yes.
And he'd like try it and like smile and be like, "Oh wow, food is like," and "Oh, this cup of tea is amazing."
Yeah.
He just picks them up and wangs them off a cliff.
Yeah, that's it.
Out of joy.
That's it. Or he's just eating some delicious strudel, fucks him into a wall.
Wangs him into the side of his own cabin and just crumbles the whole lot.
He discovers the child's play centre in the atrium of a Toby Carvery. Goes in the ball pool.
He's never had so much fun.
Never had so much fun. And then all of a sudden, just as kids, just bang, 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 splat, splat against the wall. Fucking brilliant. That would be amazing.
It's the only way he knows how to show true joy.
Is to wang you against the wall.
Is to throw a thing further from him than it currently is.
That's it.
I quite liked, to say I'm not huge on weddings, I quite like the whole like pre-wedding segment where everyone's getting really excited, everyone's dancing around, the Baron's like, he's having a lovely old time.
The thing I love about that is that they seem to ignore the fact that there's a massive monster at large, and they're like, well, at least now we won't have to explain him on the dance floor later, as he's looking at people dancing and going, "That is amazing dancing." Wang!
But to be fair, to be fair to Elizabeth, she does foresee the ominousness of it.
That's true, yeah.
Yes, she seems to be a little bit psychic, doesn't she?
She's like, I got some feelings about this.
Yeah. I'm not sure that having a monster at large is a good omen for our wedding.
Maybe we should postpone.
Oh, be quiet, you silly woman.
'Tis nothing.
Yeah.
Well, think about the time when my dad thought I was having affairs in the lab. Oh no.
Yeah, and then saw what I was doing and wished I was having affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their intervention was quite cool. I appreciated them all going over and everyone. You know, he was just like, just come down, and they were all quite supportive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They
Sorry,
try.
Tom.
They,
You can say the words earlier.
no, I do like that they try to sort of talk around and go, Henry, this is stupid.
Yeah.
You am stupid, Henry.
But we'll
Stop.
support your dreams.
But I'm going to make life. I know what it is to be God. Creative control.
We'll just have a kid, mate.
Yeah.
No.
We'll get married and have a kid. Do that. Don't fuck
No,
around
I
with
only like adults.
Yeah.
I want. But you can't bring it back to life. No. I made the body. What, you made the body so that it's never been alive? No, it's never been alive. I made it out of other bits of body that have been alive. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he had a particularly good grasp on science, to be
No.
fair. Or anatomy.
No.
Now we come to think about it, if you want to start picking holes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they back and had it all, and like, there
Yeah.
were going to be some rough stuff in that load of stuff.
Yeah.
So I suppose he couldn't even necessarily get a proper body anyway.
I do like how Fritz is frightened of the body, because he turns around and he sees the hand with the scar on the wrist has come out, and he goes, "Don't be frightened. There's no blood. There are merely a few small stitches from where I put them together." And an excellent use of the castle, sort of spiral staircase. There's been some good up and down on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing Frankenstein with a laughter track on it.
You could add one. Should we record that separately?
We can totally do that, yeah.
Just record, just
us laughing at the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
It'd be like Mystery Science Theatre,
and
wouldn't it?
shouting things like, "Go on, son," when he loves someone.
or I think
Chuck her in the sea.
if you had it, like a Rocky Horror sort of thing. Just like, why don't you kick the car? Poof, that sort of business.
I could bring my sound effects box.
Oh, get some Foley on it.
Nice.
So when she lands in the water, she just goes.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know
then
if that's
when he lands on the windmill, he goes bonk bonk. Just sounds like a sort of a goose.
Like a swanny whistle.
Yeah. So
It slides off.
So if you want to hire us for sound effects,
yeah. Oh yeah, we do all the sound.
but it's such
There was early in the when you saw the villagers dancing and drinking.
Yes.
There's a tracking shot
yeah,
through the village.
it's really cool.
And it's
Yeah,
quite a long tracking shot. And I didn't think they had handheld cameras then.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there is also there's no evidence of what you call it, like
A dolly.
A dolly, yeah.
Yeah.
There's none of that. So, but it's a good tracking shot.
I enjoyed that a lot. I thought
Yeah,
it was
well,
really
it's
cool.
slightly mirrored on the way back when he's carrying Marie through the streets.
Oh, God, yeah.
And that's really, really tough
Yeah.
because his expression is just heartbreaking.
Oh, it's hot, yeah.
And so they actually, so there's actually a mirror of that,
Yeah.
which is fairly sophisticated filmmaking for what was still a really young 1931, I believe this film
Yeah.
was. So we're still only talking 20 years maybe of cinema at all, and only 4 or 5 years of talkies at all. But really having those sort of mirrored sequences of, and because they start off the same, because it's only when people notice that he's carrying this body, people are like, there's like women standing up and like trying to make sure they've seen what they've seen and stuff. It's really, really good.
Great acting from the little girl.
Yeah, she was
great,
actually, she was very, very good. I mean, pretty good job all round. I mean, the things get a bit hammy. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
And the Baron just like laughing at things.
Yeah.
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 Oh, Darren.
I think he thought he was in a different film.
It was weird because
He gives a very non-Frankenstein performance.
it was odd as well because whenever Baron were there, suddenly like a group of 12 women had always kind of just cursed around him.
He had a little,
Kind of just giving stuff.
entourage of maids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like right at the end when they come to bring him some,
Yeah.
like that scene.
And they're all like in the same uniform,
Yeah.
like all pictured in. Like you've got Elizabeth, who's very much like stand out separate, is pretty cool and like has more character about her. And then there's just this
Household stuff.
have some wine
Yeah.
from your grandma.
Yes, your grandma's wine. yes. It was a good idea of my grandmother to not let my grandfather drink it. It's like you can see
Henry doesn't
Henry
want
in
it.
bed, like sort of not in full traction, but he might,
Yeah.
he's really been knocked
He's
about.
fucking survived.
Yeah.
There's no way
And he's
anyone
like,
would survive being knocked over a windmill.
And I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll just drink this myself, and then he just drinks it and goes, credits.
Personally,
Fucking brilliant.
I think I'd want the wine after all that.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's-
I'd be like, give me Nan's wine.
Of all
Yeah.
the things that could be bad for him, a bit of wine would
No.
be alright, wouldn't
That's
it?
it. I mean,
It's like if it red wine, it's pretty much your blood, isn't it? Nice little transfusion.
Yeah.
That,
And also they could have been vampires in that castle, you never know.
yeah.
This is
Pretty
true.
vampiric.
Yeah.
Bella
Yeah.
looming on the fringes.
All those maids all look exactly the same. All
Yeah.
exactly the same uniform. It's like two sets of twins from The Shining knocking around.
Yeah.
You just wanted to play.
Offering you just like
drink Grandma's wine.
we thought he'd enjoy some grandma's wine. So we've all come one of them's carrying the tray with the smallest wine glass. It's like a martini glass but half the fun size. And then this bottle of wine and they go so we all came. Like, what, that is so weird. I mean, if there were that many Fritzes, that would be weird. That would be
Yeah,
good. Though.
I mean, Frankenstein would have been overpowered. Frankenstein's monster would have been overpowered, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah,
Ooh.
he would have had a bad time. We've all been internally checking ourselves to make sure we say the monster.
I was thinking that, or like, this is a bit macabre, but if like there were just loads of suspended Fritzes, like a kind of meat locker of the Fritz.
There was like a
screwed up.
Newton's cradle of Fritzes. There was just an
Frankenstein's push at the end.
an executive guest toy of deformed assistants.
I
think that sort of does sum up because again
Yeah.
it's such a short film.
Yeah.
But there's not really much in it. There are those sort of scenes where, and any scene. I mean, the best scenes are when. Just before, or in your case, Tom, as he wangs people
It was.
bodily
Yeah.
at whatever they shouldn't be wanged at. But I mean, I think the scene with the little girl is genuinely amazing.
Yeah.
It's a genuinely wonderful piece.
I was not expecting it at all.
No. I think it's
Yeah.
how confounded you are by the fact that it really does come as if from nowhere, as if it was a much bigger scene that got cut down.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to see what the script said. Like, I don't have the script for this one, sadly.
But also, sorry. go on.
It's alright, I was going to say there's that dude at the beginning who comes out in the curtain and everything, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. There's a guy who. No, it's fine. No, but you're right. I forgot that it starts with a man in front of some curtains. What does he do? He warns you that stuff is going to happen in the
Yeah.
film.
There's God and there's man or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
something right, really.
this is what happens
Oh,
when
shit,
man
yeah.
tries to, take the role of God, and I think he's there to sort of go, look, don't worry, this is like a sort of a warning. It's like it's not real.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do this. And if he said you can't do this, he's right. No one has yet. So, but yeah, I think it was a sort of a warning because I mean, it was probably still also in the 30s in America. That's probably a blasphemous thing. Them America being quite a religious place in that respect.
It was just an early representation of the BBFC trigger warning screen.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Literally, that's
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, it was that. So, anyone who thinks that people are snowflakes for wanting to know if the content of something might upset them because of previous experience, go fuck yourself, it's always been there.
I think they should do it now. I think they should get rid of those BBFC screens, and the president of the BBFC should always appear wearing a turtleneck and a suit, smoking a cigarette, and go, today we are concerned with the story of toys, in which you might experience mild peril.
Mild peril. Allusions to concepts of an adult nature.
And one use...
Thinly veiled.
One use of strong language.
What's the naughty word?
What in
Toy Story?
Oh, Toy Story.
They combine, whenever they put a Wilhelm scream in Toy Story, they always combine it with Ron Howard shouting the word fuck as loud as he can. Just blend them in there.
Nice.
Fuck! He's got a mouth on him, that Howard. He's like a fucking sailor.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, would you, looking at Richie Cunningham? But
no. Yeah.
He's known as Ron Fuck Howard.
Yeah, he's known as Richie Cunningham.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always love a film that feels it has to introduce itself officially. There's something I really like. I go, good evening. I am the film Frankenstein. Just to warn you, I might shock you a bit, but I mean nothing by it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, the film Frankenstein. That's kind of you.
All of the parts during the film where I lobbed someone at a wall, no one actually died.
No.
They're acting.
Yes. You may notice that the deceased girl's face never appears. It's because she's simply a mannequin in the dress the little girl was wearing. The little girl is fine. She's absolutely fine.
We didn't kill a child or a man by slicing him in two or with the wing of a windmill.
Yeah. We did, however, kill the man who played Fritz. He was a bellend. All of that stuff with the torch wasn't even in the script.
He would walk around the set singing my hump, my lovely congenital spinal defect. And we said, no, Fritz, no. And so we fucked him against a wall.
So we fixed him, and then we killed him. It was a great shame. It's again, he might have been suffering. I mean, we shouldn't laugh. He might have, thinking back on, because the week that we recorded this, we found out that Leo the cat, who played Church in
Pet Sematary,
died very sadly. Big love to Church. We still got Tonic and the other two, but obviously, I think that Fritz might have had scoliosis extremis like the sister from Pet Sematary. So, I mean, we thought Glenda Farrell was becoming a recurring theme, but it turns out bad backs are going to become a big recurring theme as well.
Definitely.
But yeah, so that was Frankenstein 1931.
Yes.
Do watch it. It is a major turning point in the history of horror and monster movies. There's no doubt about it. Some genuinely beautiful pieces of work in it, and it looks actually like it was made a lot more recently than 31.
Yeah.
It looks very...
The sets are great.
Yeah, the set, the whole thing is wonderful. The atmosphere is beautifully done. It's only just over an hour out of your day as well.
Yeah, well worth it.
Oh, absolutely. In the meantime, by all means, do follow us at Groovin Movies on Instagram and Twitter. Groovin Movies Boppers Clubhouse on Facebook. GroovinMovies.com. You can go there now, and you can also check us out on Ko-fi or Ko-fi, whatever you want to call it.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
And buy us a coffee if you like.
Or a coffin.
Or a coffin, more appropriately.
Donate on coffin.
Donate on coffin and make sure that you save our family money.
They don't give us the money until we've got a coffin full of money.
Speaking of, how's your coffin?
That's all right.
Good, that's all right.
Too bad. It's not really its ugly head during this podcast, is it?
That's good.
Oh, well, just a little extra thing I've just thought of.
Yeah.
At what point in the history of the Frankenstein's films did they decide that the monster was green?
Ooh.
Very good question.
Because obviously it's black and white.
It is.
That is, yeah.
But if you see a depiction of Boris Karloff as Frankenstein in his colour, he's always green.
Yeah.
Your jumper is green.
It is green, yes.
When did they decide he was green?
There might be, this is pure speculation based on something else. It might be that to get that pallid look on his face, the makeup they used would be
Was green.
yellowy or green, because of the way because Harpo Marx, the professionally mute Marx brother, for 25 years in vaudeville, he wore a big red curly wig, like a ginger, like an auburn wig.
Yeah.
When he wore that wig in the films, which they did after they'd been going for 25 years, it looked brown.
So they had to change it to
So
blonde.
he had a blonde wig on,
Yeah.
but all of his names throughout the films are things like Rusty, Tommaso, and they would talk about the redhead guy, even though it actually does look kind of blonde.
Yeah.
But professionally, he was a redhead because of the wig that he wore. So it might be similar that in order to get that pallor, that sort of dead, sort of even slightly jaundiced sort of look,
So is it
they might have used a greenish
kind of
hue.
like reactivity with the light and like perspective and stuff?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So that's possibility,
Yeah.
and that's pure speculation on knowing a lot about the Marx Brothers. But that could be it. And they were made around the same time. I think the first Marx Brothers film was only made 2 years after that.
That's right. Okay, because then when things are filmed in black and white, they don't make the people to look black and white.
No.
They're filmed in colour, wearing colour costumes on colour sets that are painted to look like
Well, that's
proper
why you've
sets.
got that sort of that grease paint stuff. If you go for like even 6 years before in the silent ones and stuff, you see women who were just sort of like painted like lead white, lead paint white and stuff. You know, whereas as cameras improved in quality and lighting improved and all of these things. So it could be that on set people just got used to the idea of Frankenstein's monster looking. I nearly did it there. Looking green.
Ah, okay. That's
That's my theory.
Yeah.
Which was the first film that he appeared in green? Do you reckon? I can't remember.
Oh gosh, I really don't know.
Hey, that's for another time.
That's for another
We'll tell you
time.
on the
Yeah,
next
that's right.
pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a look anyway. But yes, so so go there and tell your friends about it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up in all the places you can up our thumbs, and we will see. I know, and we'll see you next time. Big thank you to whoever is our crossover podcast this week, if indeed we have one. Thank you. We appreciate it, and we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Groovin Movies featured Tom King, Eddie French, and Emma Tidswell, and is part of the Discount Comedy Checkout Network. For more information, go to www.comedycheckout.com. Thanks for listening.